can see for yourself why people would want to live somewhere like this, and you can also see why people need our help. We're NRCS, the Natural Resources Conservation Service, and it's an important part of our mission to reduce the threat to lives and property on private lands. We take our conservation mission seriously, working with local governments and landowners to reduce the risk of potential natural disasters. But once these disasters occur, and they do, we work hard to manage natural resources in the wake of such tragedies and do all that we can to make sure such devastation doesn't happen again. Let's face it, in a perfect world, human foresight and technology would not let this happen. But we don't live in a perfect world, so we do the best that we can with the resources that we have while always striving to do better. In our world, droughts can weaken forested areas, trees become vulnerable to infestations like that of the bark beetle, and circumstances grow ripe for major disaster. It would be hard to overstate the threat that this situation poses to California and its residents. Over the years, more and more people have moved into forested areas. As these communities have grown, so have the economies around them. A wildfire in one of these communities not only would threaten life and destroy property, but would devastate local economies, creating a ripple effect felt far beyond the local region.
nrcs came in about a year ago and spoke to us about the problem with the bark beetles and all the dead trees because of the drought we've had. And we have about 120 acres here at Buckhorn Camp. So when the nrcs came in and decided to help us out, that was wonderful for us. It's really going to help salvage these grounds up here. There's so many dead trees up here and the fire danger is very high.
A state recovering from financial disaster cannot afford to risk more financial threat. Yes, it takes considerable technical knowledge and costs a lot of money to prevent future disasters, but not nearly as much as it would cost once one has occurred. The old adage holds true: an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, and that certainly holds true in this case.
How do we dispose of this fuel? How do we make sure that we remove those trees that are going to pose the greatest damage in the near future to the lives of people who live in Southern California? And I think it's going to be answered by the counties, by the state, and by the federal government working to improve the facilities, the infrastructure that's needed. Because again, fuel management in California is going to continue to be a large factor well into the future.
The problem is big, too big for just one agency to effectively address. That's why NRCS works with other federal, state, and local agencies with the expertise to address this problem.